In today's headlines, Thai officials say the next 2 weeks is crucial to determining any further easing of restrictions in the dark red zones. Meanwhile, the proposed return of the two-ballot voting system for members of parliament could prove to be an advantage to the Pattaya opposition party in the next election, whenever that happens. And the National Anti-Corruption Commission is investigating a case where police aircraft were allegedly used to smuggle liquor. Details on these stories and many more coming right up. You're watching Thailand News Today, your Monday to Friday update for news in Thailand and beyond. We publish on the Thaiger channel along with our other shows like our Good Morning Thailand and Thaiger Bites talk shows and our new Morning Top Stories News Roundup show. As for our first story in this program, an advisor to the Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration says the country's COVID situation in the next 2 weeks is crucial to determining any further easings of restrictions. The doctor says the current disease control measures are unlikely to be relaxed until officials are sure the situation is under control. Restrictions were last eased on September the 1st, and the advisor says the move could have caused a surge in new infections, adding that the recent decline in infections is because of the lockdown introduced from July. To keep the infection rate on a downward trend, the advisor says the public must take precautions and follow the COVID-19 prevention measures that are recommended by the CCSA. On Friday, the COVID task force decided to extend the existing measures, including the nightly curfew in provinces classified as dark red zones for high infection rates. The measures will be in place until at least September the 30th. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha is calling on state agencies to inject funds into the economy for the new fiscal year in October in order to help its recovery. According to a Bangkok Post report, a government spokesperson says budget spending is important for the revival of the economy, which has been battered by the country's COVID-19 restrictions. Prayut says state agencies play a significant role in the disbursement of funds that will stimulate the economy. State agency budgets come from general spending, the central government fund, and the trillion baht COVID-19 loan, which was the first COVID-19 relief loan taken out by the government last year. Parliament then approved another 500 billion baht loan earlier this year. The government says the loans are being used to continue relief and pandemic aid projects, with more than 250 projects already approved at a cost of 996 billion baht. The future of Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha and that of the ruling Palang Pracharath Party is in question due to the return of the two-ballot voting system. Parliament has approved a charter amendment bill that proposed a return to the system, which the Bangkok Post says could prove to be an advantage to the Pattaya opposition party in the next election. The move comes following last week's removal of the Deputy Agriculture Minister and Deputy Labor Minister. Both ministers are close with the Deputy Prime Minister, Prayut, who is also the leader of the ruling party. The Deputy Agriculture Minister has been accused of orchestrating a campaign to remove the Prime Minister and may soon leave the Palang Pracharath Party. A nightclub in Pattaya's famous walking street caught on fire last night at around 9:30 p.m., ripping through the multi-level building and billowing smoke into the air that could be seen kilometers away. The Nasha nightclub was closed at the time of the fire, but a staff member was at the venue when he heard loud noises, which he said sounded like explosions. The fire broke out on an upper floor and he used fire extinguishers to try to put out the flames, but he says the fire was too strong and he had to call the emergency line. More than 10 fire department units responded to the fire at the nightclub and worked for over an hour to put out the flames. The firefighters say the number of decorative objects inside the nightclub that were flammable, along with the heavy wind, caused the fire to spread throughout the venue. The firefighters were able to control the blaze and managed to prevent the fire from spreading to other businesses on Walking Street. There were no reported injuries. Officials estimate the fire has caused damages valued at around 10 million baht. The Crime Suppression Police Bureau has named the southern province of Nakhon Si Thammarat as the most murderous province in Thailand this year. Police suspect the number of households that possess guns contributes to the high murder rate. The Crime Suppression Police have expressed their alarm at the number of killings in the province, which has averaged 5.5 murders a month for a total of 40 murders this year. Superintendent with the Crime Suppression Division says the police are concerned about the climbing murder rates in Nakhon Si Thammarat province. He says most of the killings were not planned. The police went on to say that they have been reviewing data and investigation reports to find any common factors in the killings in order to curb the high homicide rate. Police add that they are performing searches for illegal weapons to keep them away from people who are inclined to violence. The National Anti-Corruption Commission is finishing up an investigation into a case where police aircraft were allegedly used to smuggle liquor out of Songkhla's Hat Yai district in southern Thailand. A high-ranking police officer is reportedly under investigation for allegedly smuggling the alcohol on an official Royal Thai police flight, but Thai media says many other officers are suspected of being involved in the illegal operations. The Commission gave an official update on the investigation after a watchdog group made a post on Facebook questioning the status of the case. The alleged smuggling case dates back to March of 2018, where 2 planes from Royal Thai Police were seen taking liquor from the Hat Yai International Airport to the Thai Aviation Division in Bangkok. The 20 cases of liquor were covered with black plastic bags that were transported onto a truck while 2 police officers allegedly watched over the operation. A students' campaign to save Bangkok's iconic Scala Cinema and prevent its demolition is garnering significant online support. The iconic landmark cinema is scheduled to be demolished to make way for a community park. I'm joking. Another shopping center. Of course, this is Bangkok we're talking about. The Bangkok Post reports that many netizens are backing the campaign started by the student and his friends. The student launched the campaign following news that the Scala was to be demolished to make way for another Siam Square shopping center. The cinema is widely regarded as one of Thailand's grandest buildings, but was forced to close forever in July of this year. Its predecessors, the Siam and the Lido, have already had to make way for shopping centers. Social media users, including the manager of Internet Law Reform Dialogue, have taken to Twitter and other platforms to voice their support for the campaign to save the building. Recently, the campaign organizer led a group of students from Bangkok's Chulalongkorn University in a rally outside the Scala Cinema to protest Central Patana's plans to destroy the old building in order to make space for a shopping center. Banners held aloft by the students called for the cinema to be saved and converted into a public space. And that's all for the news we have for you today, but if you'd like to see more news stories, be sure to check out our Morning Top Stories Thailand show with Caitlin. Thank you for watching, and Thailand News Today will be back tomorrow. See you then.